I find that when I sing, there's a connection between me and the audience. I really enjoy that. That's what makes it special to me. That's what makes it really, really important. And I really, really love connecting with an audience. When they walk out of a venue having had a good night, that makes it all worthwhile to me. It's very, very special, that connection. And that's what makes me do what I do. That's what makes me perform the way I perform. I really, really enjoy that.
So what gravitated me toward this band was the fact that as a teenager, my first concert ever was the band Chicago. Seeing Peter Cetera actually play multiple instruments at that show
Bill, can I have
was a
one?
big, sure, was a big influence on me. And from that point on, I was a fan. So it means a lot for me to be a part of this project. And
Bill, have you seen my trombone?
I think this belongs
thanks,
to you.
Thanks.
So, do you think we'd be able to cut some of that out?
Yeah. For me, it was 8th grade. Hearing Jimmy Pankow on Just You and Me, and hearing the trombone kind of out front in a horn section, it kind of hooked me in. And then getting into the depth of Chicago's music and listening to all types of songs really grabbed me in. I'm the newest member of this band, and one of the things I love about it, of many things, are the arrangements themselves. The horn lines are really captured like the original recordings. So, a lot of fun.
So I've been playing the drums since I was 10 years old. My early influences were Norman Garrett, and then in high school, Marty Goldstein, playing in stage band with horn charts, and then hearing that 1969, the introduction, the first few bars, I was hooked, and got a chance to hear the great things that Danny Serafin was doing, and now having the great opportunity to play it today with this band, it's awesome. Having a great time doing it.
My dad was a jazz drummer, and he was a great jazz drummer. He impressed upon me many elements of music, specifically jazz drumming. Buddy Rich was my idol, and when Chicago came along with Danny Serafin behind the drums, I was blown away. I still think to this day the alchemy that the original 7 members put together was far superior to anything else that was happening. Jazz, rock, classical, folk. They really touched me in a place that no other bands touched me. And I'm really proud to say that I get to play with some of the best musicians I've ever met. And my son, who's the lead guitar player, was really the inspiration for it all. So that's why I do what I do.
So the first time I heard Chicago, I was probably 5 or 6 years old, riding in the car with my dad, and he being a drummer and a musician, and constantly playing that music. I heard the opening horn line to make me smile, and it was really the first time I kind of would call it falling in love with music. And it wasn't until I heard really the guitar solo of 2564 with the Terry Cass wah-wah pedal that he was using, where it just absolutely floored me. And that's really when I wanted to play the guitar, and I was going to be a guitar player, and I was going to play the music of Chicago.
My first memory of the saxophone was from a record my mom used to play a lot. She played tons of classical records, but she had one jazz record, which was from Stan Getz, an album called Focus. And that really hooked me on the saxophone. So I thought I was a jazz head for a while until I heard Chicago. And to me, Chicago is the best example of a combination of jazz and rock. A lot of other horn bands did soul, they did funk, but what really attracted me to Chicago was the fact that they really excelled at jazz. You could tell they were really good jazz players. The other thing that really attracted me to them was the fact that the horn section was fantastic. The 3 players played as one. You can't tell them apart. It's impossible. They are so good. They're the best horn section of all time. So the fact that I get to play that kind of music with these guys is a great thing.
I think I'm the oldest member of this group. Chicago, Tower of Power, Blood, Sweat and Tears, Earth, Wind and Fire, were all coming on the music scene when I was starting to play in general business bands at 15. I fell in love with that unique jazz rock style. At 30, I stopped playing until 2014 when I got the bug again. About the same time, I had an opportunity to audition for this group. I'm an old dog, but I didn't need any new tricks because I already knew that classic jazz style that Chicago needed. I'm very proud to be a part of this group.
There are two things I really love about Chicago's music. The first is that it's complex. It's as challenging today playing in this band as it was for me learning this music as a young piano player in high school and then really enjoying playing it in college. The second thing is that it's enduring. 50 years of Chicago. That to me is incredible. When we get out to play and we look at the people enjoying this music, they are enjoying it just as much as people did 50 years ago, and it's terrific to watch. The best thing is, though, I get to play this music with 9 other people that feel exactly the same way I do about it. It's terrific.
My musical influences started in high school as part of that MTV generation, and I was there when the rocket went off. Now, during that time, Chicago was one of those acts, along with many other musical acts like Yes and Genesis, and even Elton John and Billy Joel, who really had to reinvent themselves at that time. And they took a lot of big risks when they did that. And as a result, they were able to really capture that longevity because they were able to introduce themselves to a new generation like someone like myself. And that allowed me to really look back and see what they had done in the 70s and 60s to really appreciate them for their entire 50-year run. And to this day, they're selling out arenas around the country. And I'm very proud to be part of a band that really focuses on something that has endurance.
That's it. How's my hair look?
It's good.
Whatever's left of it.
Not as good as mine.
Of course.
Got some spray over here.
It's a lot cheaper than yours.
Good one.
Sorry, right? All right, here we go.
Hey, Dr. Leonard ain't cheap. If we couldn't bust balls, it wouldn't be fun.
That's right.